what's up you guys, it's Steph, and today we're here to talk about a book that was very recently released, and that book is Reign of the Fallen by Sarah Glenn Marsh. Now this book, in case you've been watching for a bit or you follow any of my social medias, is one that I've been hyped about since November of last year. That's when I pre-ordered it, that's around when I first found out it was going to be a thing, and so I jumped to pre-order it. It just came out the 20-somethingth-ish day, I think it was the 23rd. Maybe. Just came out towards the end of January, one of the last weeks of January, and so I got it. It came in the mail. I read it immediately. It took me a couple days, but I finished it. And oh my goodness, this was a book I'm very glad lived up to the hype I had for it. Now, I don't want to go into any spoilers for this book talk, so it's probably going to be pretty short compared to my other ones because I ramble. But we're not going into any specific big details or anything. We're just going to be talking about the general idea of this book and the world it takes place in, general kind of stuff. Reign of the Fallen is a young adult fantasy novel, so if you're looking for some fantasy to put in your life, this book is for you. If you're looking for some heartbreak to put in your life, this book is for you. If you're looking for those bisexual heroines and representation, this book is for you. This story is so much more than I expected it to be. It portrays itself as this kind of adventure story where you have these necromancers who can bring the dead back to life, and the dead rule this kingdom. The only thing is they have to remain shrouded, because if any hint of their flesh is exposed, they turn into these nasty monsters that are really hard to kill. Really hard to kill. When shade attacks become more frequent, however, a dark conspiracy begins to unravel. Why is this happening? Why are the dead turning into these creatures that are very, as I said, very hard to kill? That's where, one of the mysteries in this book. That's the main story to this book, but there's so much more in this book that I just wasn't expecting when I was reading it, and I absolutely loved it. I don't want to go into very much detail, but just know it explores different methods of grief, different methods of coping, different, forms of love. It explores change. There's so much that this book explores throughout its around 370 pages. And I believe there's going to be a second one, which if there is, I'm here for it, but it also wrapped up very nicely. All I'm saying, I think there's some good closure. It's a very interesting book. It's a very interesting world. I absolutely adore the world that has been created for this book. It's just so cool. It's back before really modern inventions. We have this fantasy kind of kingdom ruled by the dead, as I said before, and nothing gets advanced because we have the dead in charge. Everything kind of stays at a standstill, even though we have living people. The dead keep things the way they've always been, and there's no real advancements in technology. There's no real pushing forward. We have people dying of diseases that they've died of for hundreds of years, since it just continues to go because there's no advances in medicines and things like that. You have different people like necromancers who have magic within them. They have healers. They have weather mages. There's a few different types of magic explored in this book, and that is also really cool. If that didn't tempt you to read Reign of the Fallen, I don't know how else to tempt you. This is a very good book, in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. This was my third read of 2018, and I am very glad that I got to read it right after it came out because I pre-ordered it. Not only that, look at this cover artwork. It's freaking gorgeous, and underneath the dust jacket we have a beautiful kind of peachy book with gold. I mean, beautiful. If you want to check out Reign of the Fallen by Sarah Glenn Marsh, I will leave a link to its Goodreads down below, and from there you can find it on whatever book-selling website you prefer, whether that be Amazon, Barnes & Noble. I'm trying to think of other book places, but I don't know. And that's all I've got for you guys today. I just kind of wanted to talk a bit about this book because I enjoyed it so much. And I ran a poll which people actually voted on. Thanks, guys! And you guys wanted to hear me kind of talk about this book. So I wanted to talk about this book and kind of express how much I really enjoyed this book without getting into spoilers, getting into certain plot points and certain characters. I would love to at some other point, but I feel like it's too early. The book hasn't been out very long. I feel like it's too early to really go out and really discuss these things. There's so many layers to this book. I think everyone can find something they enjoy about it, even if you're not the typical kind of fantasy fan. Maybe you'll find something you like. Maybe you won't. Either way, that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you have a lovely day/night, and I'll see you later.